This is Derek Griffin, a pastor who hasn't practiced what he preaches. Griffin was separated from his wife and had become obsessively jealous. After stalking her, he discovered she was seeing Kristopher Miller. Unable to let the relationship go, he tracked the couple to a bar and shot Miller as he drove by. Miller was just returning to the bar after walking Griffin's wife to her car. Witnesses were quick to place him at the scene, and the police brought him in for questioning.
Derek? It's me. Darcy. Derek. Derek. We're cops that work up here. We're working the homicide. We had some questions. We had an incident that happened last night. Good. Okay. And we don't know the answers until we talk to the people that may or may not be involved. So our job is nothing more than to talk to people, get everybody's side of it, and we go from there. We have a young man that was killed on the north side last night. Okay? And that's what we'd like to talk to you about. So before we can talk to you, we need your permission to talk to you there. Go ahead. Okay. Do you understand what the Miranda warning is? Have you ever heard that? I mean, ultimately, you make the decision to talk to us. That's your choice, right? But we need a little bit more than go ahead from you, because we had to bring you in down here, okay? So we'll give you your rights, and we appreciate you, for talking to us. So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in court. You have the right to an attorney now or at any time during questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to you by the court without cost. You understand that? Good. Okay. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. So, having said that to you, we need your permission to talk to you. Go ahead. Okay, you're willing to talk to us? Depends on what you're talking about. Okay. Well, we'd like to start out by asking you if you know this guy. No. Okay. We're investigating this young man's murder. Okay.
Kristopher Miller was a father of two and a teacher at the local high school. Everyone knew him, said he was a caring and compassionate person, and was always trying to help others.
And part of, like I said, what we do is we talk to people and we find out where they're at and if they have any information that could help us. We've basically been at this all night, and people are saying that maybe you're up there in the area where this guy was killed. Killed for what? Well, we don't know that. But people have you in the area where he was killed. Still hasn't. Okay. Where were you last night? Maybe you can alleviate all that for us. Home. Okay. And where's home at? I'm going to tell you that. Okay. Would home be in Minneapolis? Or no. Okay. Here's the thing, Derek. We understand, from talking to people, we didn't just get your name, right? So here's maybe a little background on how we come to get to where we get to talk to you. We talked to your wife. She gave us a little background that you guys are having a little bit of problems and things weren't going so well for both of you.
Griffin's marriage was over, but he still continued to stalk and harass his wife.
And that we don't take anything out of that other than what she had to say about it. We can tell you this, that she cares for you. For what that's worth. That's what we take out of that. We know that you talked to her a little bit this morning, and she told you that she's down here at the cop shop. Other than that,
the phone went dead.
What's that?
Just when the phone went dead.
Okay. So here's what we know about Derek. He's a man of God, preacher, belongs to the church at True Vine, and he's having some marital problems. And marital problems, everybody can have, So we're looking to see what we have to say about any of that. If we don't know if it comes into play with this guy or not.
No,
You say you don't know him.
it doesn't. But so far, what you said, I am a preacher.
Yeah.
I do go True Vine. We do have marital problems.
Right. Were you over by the Elks Club at all last night?
Nope.
Were you within blocks of the Elks Club last
No,
night?
I was not.
You have a car, and we understand we weren't there when the cops got you, but what kind of car do you have?
White Cadillac, 96.
Would people on the north side know you or associate you with that car at all?
Probably have had it for a long time.
Did your wife ever drive it?
Time to time.
You know how this man was killed?
I have no idea.
Did you hear anything about it, or?
I got a call this morning from Pastor McAfee.
Okay.
Said that he had heard my wife was involved with a young man, and I killed him.
Okay.
That's what led to me calling my wife. And when she said she was here, I knew there was something to the story.
Okay.
That's it. Now, if this man and my wife has something going on, I don't know. So, my thing is this. If my wife cheated with this fellow, it wouldn't be the first time she'd have cheated. Never put my hands on her. Never looked for nobody. Now, all of a sudden, I go and stalk somebody and kill them. Me and this man have never exchanged a word. We've never been in one another's presence. So, no, I'm not understanding.
The big thing for us, Derek, is when people throw that stuff out there, we've heard a little bit of the same thing. I'm sure if the Reverend's hearing it, it'll make its way down to us eventually, And obviously, we had to, send some people out to look for you this morning because we did hear some of that. The only way we answer or account for it is by talking to the people whose names are coming up in this stuff.
All you had to do was wait.
Well,
I was coming.
yeah.
Once she said she was here and
we
the
didn't
phone
know that.
disconnected,
Yeah.
I was coming. So,
She was
I'm
hoping
here.
that was the case,
Now I'm here.
So, what it comes down to, Derek, is any background that you can maybe give on, if it's centered around her or a relationship that she would have had or if something that is going on that we don't know about that maybe you have some insight on.
You gotta ask her if she had an affair with this fellow.
Well, but here's the thing, is you said it wouldn't have been the first time, so I'm taking it that you maybe have some insight that she has before, or you've suspected, or
No, I know.
you know?
Yeah, she confessed it.
Okay.
It was years ago, but I still see that guy, and I'm still with her.
Right.
And she'll tell you, I never laid a hand on her about it. Nothing physical, came love. Make no mistakes, man. I'll kill or die for my wife, but I won't do it over. Now, if my wife has given herself to another man, the last thing he has to worry about is being killed by me.
We appreciate that.
So
here's what we have to deal with right now, then, Derek. If it's out there on the street, and if it's coming to us that you had something in it, how do we overcome it?
I don't know. I didn't get up this morning prepared to, so I don't know, man.
Can you take us through? Were you with anybody, or can anybody vouch for you that you were with them and not anywhere near where this happened?
No.
And then you said you didn't want to tell us where home is.
That's right.
If Griffin was going to be so hostile and reticent, he would have served himself better by refusing to speak without a lawyer. All he has done so far is to prove he has something to hide. I just released another extremely intense interrogation on my Patreon, this time about a son of a millionaire being interrogated for the death of his father. His trial was the longest and most expensive trial in the history of St. John. Watch it right now at patreon.com/Stranger Stories Plus.
Okay. That's hard for us to deal with you on, because if we're going to try and prove that Derek didn't have anything to do with it, it would be helpful for us to know where you were at.
Might be, and I have my reasons for not telling. I'm sure you do. My wife called me last night. I don't know. Thinking back, maybe she was trying to get some information. I don't know. She asked me where I was. I told her I wasn't in the city. She said she thought she saw me. I said, well, you didn't. Never knowing,
Right.
She asked questions.
Right.
She always says I live a mysterious life. So that was nothing new to me. I didn't feel like she was trying to accuse me or pick me of anything.
Right.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah, she did think she saw you, though.
She told me so.
Yeah.
So when I told her no, I wasn't over nor. She said, well, I thought I saw your car. I said, well, you didn't.
And so then the next question for us would be, where was your car?
With me.
And then we go, where were you?
At home.
And then we go at home and you say, I don't want to tell you.
I'm not going to do that.
But the important thing, I think, of what you're trying to tell us, and this has to be your words, is that you weren't anywhere near where this guy was killed.
I still don't know where he was killed.
Okay, well, we'll get
The closest vicinity you've given me is the Elks.
Yeah, and we asked you, were you anywhere near the Elks Club?
No, I was not.
Okay. Did you know where your wife was last night?
No, I didn't. Actually, I was going to ask her about that today. Because, oh, go ahead.
No, I'm turning this off. That's all right.
Because thinking back on our conversation, what she said made no sense. Now, I know she's in college and she had finals yesterday. And her and some girlfriends, she told me was going to Kelly's bar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's where I expected she was. And then it dawned on me after we hung up, why would she feel she saw my car over north? And she was supposed to be in Brooklyn Park.
Right.
So then somewhere, you came over north and thought you saw damn sure didn't look from Brooklyn Park and thought she saw me over north.
Right.
So I wasn't going to call her back and ask her about it. I said, hell, I'll talk to her about it today.
Right. Do you have any other vehicles that you drive?
Nope. Yeah, you're running too loud. So,
Where did you get picked up at? By our guys.
Holiday,
Where's that at?
on 43rd Central.
And you were up that way for what?
Getting a bag of cigarettes. Getting ready to come to the city.
So home must be up that way a little bit. I mean, we're detectives now, we have to ask the questions. We don't necessarily know. But it just seems like if you're stopping
I'll tell you
there,
this much. Where I stay, I'm not revealing. Damn sure I don't have nothing to do with this man. So,
she said, Kim said you had a discussion about some guy that maybe you thought she was seeing at the Elks Club. You saw some text message or something, or you recall?
his name's supposed to be Mike.
Yeah.
But I haven't. Is that him?
I don't know if he's Mike.
I've never identified Mike. I don't know if Mike is real. I know Texas are real. And hell, he wouldn't have no problem out of me. Most of the texts I seen was on the outbox, not the inbox.
Yeah.
So
So
those are just things to me to keep your eyes peeled.
right. How did it make you feel when you saw him?
It was just something I had to address with her.
Yeah.
And I did it.
She said you guys have been sort of split up for about a year and a half. Is that right?
Okay.
What's your hope for your relationship?
Well, we said we're going to try to stay together, keep it together.
And that was,
Basically just taking it slow.
yeah.
If she wanted a divorce or something, I don't know anything about that.
Griffin's wife wanted a divorce, but he kept refusing. She was afraid of his reaction and knew that there was no hope of an amicable split.
Yeah, she said, I think you guys maybe, you said you filed like last March, maybe a year ago. And then
So I did the first step, and then I never pursued it after that.
Yeah. That's what she said. You had like some June court date or something, and then it's not, you guys didn't go from there. Nobody filed once with divorce. Is that right?
Say that again.
She said you guys had a court date in June to sort of finish up.
Shit, I'd have to even pursue it. I don't even know.
Yeah, that's what she said. It
I
was.
don't know. For sure, court date did follow. I don't know nothing about one date. I know I never was going. So,
So do you actively work now then?
no, because my ministry is my only source of income: weddings, funerals, other obligations.
Yeah.
Well, like Darcy said, we're trying to follow up on information. And anything you can tell us about where you're at or who you're with or anything about last night to help us show
motivation that it's supposed to be. I don't know if motivation was the word I'm looking for, but the reason, or however I'm saying it.
Right. And that's what you're hearing from Reverend McAfee.
That's what he heard from somebody else that had heard. So,
Right.
I don't know how far down it went. It meant nothing to me. First thing I did was to call my wife.
Right.
So did you hear from him right before you called your wife?
Yeah, that's why I called. Other than that, I probably wouldn't call till after she got off work or something.
Right.
Are you in any other relationships right now?
Not answering that.
Fair enough. Fair enough. That's just, my guess, I'll throw it out there. You'll know inside if I'm right, but I'm thinking maybe you're shacked up with somebody. And that's why you don't want to say where you're living.
Not answering that.
Fair enough. What it comes down to for us is if you're not around, we'd like to have something or somebody or some place to be able to say you were, so that we can move on.
I'm certainly not going to tell you where I was. All I'm going to tell you is where I wasn't. And I wasn't wherever he got killed at. I wasn't there.
Did you drive your car last night?
I tried my car last night.
Yeah.
Yep.
And can you take us through like where maybe you would have been driving around, or areas you might have been, or?
Getting too close, man. I moved the car. What time did this incident occur?
Around 11. We'll go between like 11 and midnight. I think you talked to your wife, I don't know, sometime that.
I don't know, it's in my phone.
The what?
It's in my phone.
Yeah, when you talked to her.
And they're starting to, she texted me. And she said, because she told me she would call me when she got home, she texted me and said that, I'm going to paraphrase it because I can't remember for word for word, but I ain't going to call you when I get home. Because you already know I'm on the way. Then I text her back, what do you mean?
Right.
And she sent me a text saying, you know what I mean. So then I called her. I said, what the hell are you talking about? Then she asked me, no, you did not say me. If you thought you did, you should have approached.
Right.
But if I was the type to just do something like kill this man, it wouldn't be because he had sex with her, man. Like I said, if he did, I have no confirmation of that. But I do have confirmation of one long time ago.
Right.
And he's still living, he's still kicking.
Right.
Still see him. He'll tell you. He didn't exchange no words about it.
So what was his name?
Keith.
And he's still around?
Yep.
We may need to talk to him. I don't know. I mean, if he's somebody you want us to talk to, we would do that. You gotta understand, Derek, if there's people that you want us to go holler at in this, we'll do that. And that's why we're sort of trying to figure out how we come to the place where we can say that it wasn't you.
I'm trying to get to how we come to the place where we even think it is.
Well, you gotta weigh this out. Okay, you got wife, who's known you for 15 years, married for 9, right? Has seen you drive that car, has been in that car herself, has driven that car herself. It's pretty powerful to us to think that she would know that car, and she would know who would be in that car. Because I'm guessing you don't just loan your car out and let anybody drive around the north side, right? So if you had your car last night and she, who would believe that it was you, sees you there, that's going to carry some weight, you know.
She told me it was a thought. And I didn't say, well, how close did you get to the vehicle you thought it was? I didn't ask all that.
Right. But we did.
You know.
And that's not saying that you did anything wrong. That's just putting you on the north side. That's putting you near the Elks Club.
You can't put me at the Elks Club between 11 o'clock and 11 to 12, whatever you said. You can't place me there.
Well, then what's going to be helpful for us, Derek, is if you can help us to establish where you were.
You tell them where I was.
Well, you got a pretty good idea, though.
I didn't call you right or wrong.
Right. And we're not saying that on your court either. Because I want you to understand this part about us, Derek, is we're not here to make any judgment on anybody's life, on anybody's relationship, or anybody's actions. We as cops, as humans, it's our job to just do nothing more than to talk to people and get their side of the story. We're not, if you got something going on, if you got a squeeze on the side, or if you got other women, or if you got other problems, that's not our place to hold judgment. If you're trying to work it out with your wife, or if you got whatever you got going on, you won't get any judgment out of us on that. That's not our job, and that's not even who we are as people. And what we do is we care about people, Derek. We care about the fact that this guy is no longer with us. We care about the fact that you're going through what you're going through. We care about the fact that you're even having to sit down here in front of us. And sometimes things just happen that we don't really want to have happen.
That ain't one of them.
Well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Him being dead ain't nothing got to do with me or something that just happened.
Well, so, we wouldn't know that unless we asked you, would we? We didn't even ask you if you had anything to do with his death, did we?
I'm in a homicide unit.
Well,
you bring me a picture of a dead man.
But I mean, we didn't go straight out. We can get that out of the way right now. Derek, did you kill this man?
No, I did not.
Then we can move on from that question, right? Because we didn't go there. We're just trying to figure out where Derek was last night. We can't even get that far. You gotta weigh this part out, Derek. Of all the places that we could look for you and find you, why did they get you at 43rd and Central?
Because I wanted a pack of cigarettes.
Right. But do you think it was an accident that when I don't know, we weren't there on how it all came out, but however, you got X amount of cops around you, right? And you know about how long you were in your car. See what I'm saying? Because we're a little bit farther ahead of the game right now.
not revealing where I stay.
We can reveal that for you if you want us to.
Go ahead.
Was it 942 42nd and Half Street?
That's the truth be told.
I might have got the numbers wrong.
I don't know the address, man.
Columbia Heights. We've had a little bit of chance to do some work on this.
Well, the things that I've told my wife and been telling my wife for the whole while I've been gone is the reason why I didn't reveal anything. That's the reason I did not say, where I am.
Right.
It has nothing to do with the issue that's got me here. So that's my reason. Did you thought you had an answer to it? But if that address is the one around the cul-de-sac, here it is.
I got it here somewhere. Yeah.
Mass Street Market.
Well, that ain't right. That's damn close.
So here's the other. We don't have any reason to hold back from you there, right? We're gonna go there.
Well, I got a reason to hold back from you.
Well, I'm sure you do.
And that's why I did it, so.
Right. But here's the thing. What we want you to understand is we're gonna keep moving forward, and we're gonna go there, and we're gonna ask you, whoever's there. Maybe you can cut some of this off and tell us why we don't need to go there. I don't know. But we think there's probably people there that we would maybe want to talk to. And maybe they can say if you were or weren't there last night.
The one Griffin was seeing wasn't willing to lie to give him an alibi. Although he claimed he was keeping her a secret to avoid judgment from the people who knew him, many already suspected he was having an affair.
She's there.
And what's her name?
Guess you know that already, too, if you got the address.
Yeah. There's things that you're having a hard time saying here.
Yeah, I'm right.
There might be a time
But it ain't got nothing to do with concealing nothing. I got my reasons for it.
Well, but right now your reasons are we're just trying to get to where you were last night. And if you didn't,
I got a feeling that ain't confidential.
But if you did,
But
if you didn't have anything to do with this man's death there, then I'd be laying it all out, brother. Here is where I was. This is who I was with. Go check with her. She'll tell you exactly what it is. If that's the case, I don't know.
There you go right ahead. I had nothing to prep her on.
So in your messages, Derek, when you prepare your messages, when you get down to your delivery of the word, where are you at with forgiveness?
They just where I'm supposed to be at, but I preach about it all the time.
And do you believe in it for yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the young lady you're staying with, were you with her last night?
I was there.
The whole night? Help me get from A to Z, man.
I was there doing the time he said.
day and your night.
I went outside, spoke to my wife. Naturally, I wasn't going to talk to her in the house. So, did that.
And what time was that?
I don't know, it was in the phone.
Did you leave at any time?
Yep.
So you were at that place now. Is this gonna be one of these things where I'm gonna have to say the name of this gal, or?
You said the address, so I know you know her name.
Yeah. But no, I hate having to go this route. I can assume from what I can gather that it's Ruby. But I don't want to say it is unless that's who it is.
It is.
How long have you known Ruby?
I ain't telling. That's her address, for sure. That's definitely her name.
Mm-hmm.
Before we go back, I ain't even tell.
But in order for us to get a complete picture, because that's pretty much all we deal with in a case like this, is you're getting calls saying people are saying you had something to do with this, and here we are, we're saying, man, we can show right now that you're not there, that you have nothing to do with this. Give it to us. We'll run with it. I gotta have someone. I ain't telling you. It's tough. Tough to work with. Can't build nothing with that, man.
How long me and her have been knowing each other, I don't see how that's relevant, man. I do know her. I do got clothes there. I do stay there, man.
Okay. And you were there the whole night? Did you leave?
I went to the laundromat, but it was closed, so I came right back.
There was no footage found on nearby security cameras to support Griffin's claims. Tracking data from his cell phone also showed that he wasn't at the laundromat.
Which laundromat?
43rd.
I don't know heights that much, so I couldn't tell.
It's the 43rd Sessions. Holidays on one side.
What time was that about?
It was closed, so it was, I missed the 10 o'clock cutoff. So,
You understand why we gotta talk to you, Derek? You know, because I mean, it's not like we go where we're led, and right out of the gate, people threw your name out, and we've never even met you, you know.
me and I have never met. So I really don't understand why my name would have been thrown out.
Yeah, I mean that's what
We weren't destined to meet. We had no appointments to meet. We've had no disputes on cell phones. None of that.
Right.
So,
but here's what you gotta think about just a little bit. Is it's not just us. It's you heard it from the Reverend. I don't know how you're plugged in with him, but I mean for him to call you,
same profession.
yeah. But for him to call you, it's not like we're just picking your name out of a hat, right?
Right.
It's out on the street. Somehow, somewhere, somebody thinks, you know, that you had something to do with this. And we're still at that crossroads of how do we establish where exactly you were. And maybe I missed it, but are you that you were at home on full night and maybe dipped out to the laundromat a bit?
The laundromat was closed. Came right back.
Okay. Did you borrow your car to anybody last night?
No.
Did you borrow your phone to anybody last night?
No.
Even if a guy was sitting outside the Elks Club doesn't mean that he had anything to do with it there, right? I mean, that's just a piece of the... And I think my partner and I both believe that you were there. We're not gonna, try to pull back from you on where we're at with it.
It wasn't.
Sometimes the strongest evidence we get from people is, of course, people that would know each other. It's hard for us to believe, we weren't there to see you, so we still have to go by what other people would have seen. But people that know you, Derek, that love you,
Might have thought they seen me, but they didn't.
but it's powerful for us. There's a lot of weight in it.
I'm here. But you didn't have to come.
So when you talked to your wife, were you on your way down here then?
When she confirmed where she was.
You were. Did you talk to a guy named Will last night?
Yep.
Who was he to you?
The guy who's married to my niece.
Remember the substance of that conversation?
Called him a couple times. Once I didn't get him. So, wasn't much substance to it.
Forgiveness. Where are you at with it?
I already told you that.
Yeah.
I think it's a mandatory thing.
Is it a given?
I don't think everybody's capable. Or
Yeah.
willing, should I say.
How about from God?
He forgives. If he doesn't, I've been lying a long time.
Right. There's no blanket on what he will or will not forgive, right? It's gonna be really hard for us to get over the fact that you weren't there, Derek. Just level with you. We gotta be able to account for it. It is what it is. And I don't want you to just go into this thinking that it's just your wife that saw you there.
gone into it thinking that whoever thinks they saw me there did it. Her and Lord and whomever else.
I don't know if that.
I struggle believing that so many people supposedly seen me someplace and nobody spoke to me.
Well,
I struggle believing.
maybe people didn't know how to take what they saw.
I don't know what they saw supposedly is, so can't comment on that. I speak to people I recognize.
Right.
So,
but I think it's important for you to understand that it's just not your wife saying it.
I don't know who it is, man. I'm telling you what it is.
Right.
So,
When's the last time you were up around the Elks Club?
last week,
Did you go inside or were you just,
it was a repass. The funeral I had just done, the repass was there.
you know how many times, Derek, the average person's caught on video per day? We could just say that maybe it's even two. I don't know what the number is myself. But I suspect nowadays it's quite a bit.
It's amazing how much technology's come around. There's so many different ways that people leave their little footprints around. You know, not even really aware of it. Stuff like that's out there. Things that we have to answer for.
Things that are probably going to say that you're not at home on 42nd and a half Street with Ruby when this thing goes down.
Disagree.
Well, then it's up to you to help us clear it up for you.
Talking.
We're not coming at you like any other way. We're here to do it just as neutral and as objective as we can. And what we won't do to you, Derek, is we're not going to pull back or lie, to you. We just ask the same,
Griffin has little more to give the police besides repeating the same denial of guilt. The murder wasn't planned, and he most likely didn't believe that he would be considered a suspect. He is wondering who, besides his wife, was able to place him at the scene of the crime.
Nobody can really understand what another person is going through because they're not in their shoes. They may know bits and pieces and parts of it, have their own struggles and problems, but until they're walking in somebody else's shoes, they're not going to get that. And that's what I really want to impress upon you is we're not here to judge you for this, Derek. But we both really strongly agree that you were up there.
It wasn't.
And then, we got a hard time believing it. And we don't want to sit and point fingers and say, lying to us, but we have to go by what we're given. You know, and we're given a start on this young man's death right here. How we both were in bed, got called in from home. We weren't there. So we go, well, where do we start with this? What happened? We get that first part of the story. And who's in that first part of the story? Is Derek in a white Cadillac. So where do we go? We go, oh, we gotta talk to Derek. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And we don't have anybody else really there to go at right now. And there's going to be points where there's decisions that you're going to have to make. You know, where do you want this thing to end up for you?
The decisions are made. I wasn't there.
Well, but if we have to build it the other way, you know, and you're telling us that you weren't there, and then all of a sudden, well, you know, by whatever means, we place your car there. We could just even leave you out of it. Now we got your car there.
So you might have to do that. Wasn't there.
Well, we think we have it. Well, actually, we know we have it. Your car is there. And so then we got to take it to the next step. We got to explain that.
Wasn't there. So I guess you might have to explain that.
Well, we'll do that. And I think I had a call that I think they're bringing, how many people were home there with Ruby? I think they were trying to call me on that.
It's her son. He's probably at school.
Yeah, so maybe it's just her then. Excuse me just a second. Hey, do you have Ruby there? Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Yeah. Do you want me to talk to her? Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Hi, Ruby. This is Sergeant Quinn with the police department in Minneapolis. I'm speaking with Derek right now downtown. Okay? And we'd like you to come down and have a chat with us about what Derek's got going on here. Hello? Okay. So because we're speaking with Derek right now, we'll have some questions of you, and we might need to speak with Derek after we talk to you. Well, Yeah. What time do you work? Yeah. If we get you to, these guys will give you a ride down and they'll get you a ride home before 2:00. Okay. Yep. It's easier that way if they just do it. Then we can get you in and out of here. Okay. Well, let me talk to the sergeant there, and we'll take care of that. Okay. Well, you and I can have a talk about that when you get down here. And if you can put her back on, I'll take care of that. Okay. Yeah. She'll come down with you. Yep. She'll come down with you. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Thanks. Ruby's gonna come down and talk to us. You know, a lot of times, Derek, when this part happens, then other people can be compromised, and they compromise themselves. You know, I'm not saying Ruby's gonna come down here and tell us anything that's not true, but it gets to be a point where people start to drag other people through the mud a little bit. So just something to think about.
I tried to keep her address and name. Well, I didn't know the address, but her name out of it.
Right.
Sent it. So she'll hear the same bull I'm hearing.
Yeah.
So,
You want a water or something to drink, or?
yeah.
Without being able to fall back on an anonymous woman as an alibi, Griffin knows he's going to have to come up with a better lie about where he spent his evening.
Got our work cut out for us in this one. Grew up in the cities, born and raised. North side. Okay. You wait. Hey, thanks, man.
The best I got for right now. Okay, so here's our next move, Derek. Ruby's coming down. We'll talk to her. We're gonna go through the house and see if there's anything that we're interested in. Okay? We'll go through your car, see if there's anything we're interested in. You know, that's just logical things, you know, that we do in the course of an investigation. then, so as part of that, is there anything that you want us to know about that we might find that you want to say anything about?
Nothing that shouldn't be there. No.
Do you own any handguns?
2.
Okay. And where are they?
There.
Have you handled them recently?
No.
What kind of handguns are?
9mm and a 38.
When was the last time you fired them?
Hell, I don't know. 9mm probably been years. Gun range. That's about it.
Do you have you a permit holder?
It's in my wallet.
Do you have a permit to carry?
No. There's a permit to purchase or so.
Where are they at in the house? So, when we go there,
9mm in a drawer. 38's on a nightstand.
in cases, or they just out?
The 9mm's in the case. 38's out.
How long are they your personal guns, or
Yeah.
did you buy them?
Yep.
From who?
Deals.
Both of them?
Yep. Same date.
Are they loaded?
The 38 is. No, I don't remember if the 9 is. I know there's a loaded clip, but I don't think it's in the gun. I don't think it is.
How many rounds are in the 38?
5.
Is it loaded with 5?
Yep.
The snub nose or whatever? Small. This is a 6-inch barrel.
Smaller.
Like a J-frame.
38 special.
Do you have ammunition up there for it?
Yep.
Extra ammo, or?
Yep.
Anything in your car?
I got a case of 38s in my car. Not a case, a little small box of, and another one inside the house.
Do you have any fired shells?
No.
So would Ruby know where you were between 11 and midnight last night?
I don't see why not.
Were you with her?
Might have been outside talking to my wife.
Outside meaning?
It's outside the door. Outside the house door, not the bedroom door.
Do you remember what you're wearing last night?
I had this on yesterday.
Hello? Who's this? Oh, I'm right. I'm in the middle of doing something here. Can you call me later? Give me a couple hours. Alright, thanks. We can put you on the north side there. So we gotta account for that from you. And we're not gonna be able to back down from it because it's a fact. You don't have anything more to say to it, or
I already told you.
you're just gonna stick with that line now? It's not gonna be good for you. Because I don't know if we can convince, other people of the same thing. Because usually when people are in a position to say that, they've got something to back it up.
All I know is my wife, she wasn't sure, obviously, because I told her it wasn't. So, but she did make it clear that she believed she did. Other people's minds and opinions and sights, it is what it is, man. So,
It moves beyond that.
What's gonna happen, Derek, is we're gonna hope that we get you on video somewhere. I mean, that'd be ideal for us, right? I'm assuming you don't have video of yourself on 42nd and a half to say that you were there. So we'll have to come up with some place that you were. There's hundreds of cameras on the north side, and probably all the way up from the north side to Columbia Heights, especially along Washington Avenue or the freeway. I'm sure that we'll have the white Cadillac where we need it to be. And then, over and above that, we'll have your phone. We know where that's going to be once we check that out. That's not going to lie to us. That's not going to be somebody's mistaken ID. That's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be concrete proof on where Derek's phone was. And then it just starts to get, it starts to close in. And we'd much rather have you be in the position where you could just up front and be honest with us about what happened.
I don't know what happened. I asked you. You chose not to tell me. I don't know how he was killed. I don't know where. All I know is I didn't do it. So.
Well, but that's you saying it. Now we
I'm
might,
you're asking.
right? And we might have to come. The problems we're having right now, Derek, is you're not saying you're on the north side, and we can prove that without a doubt. And it's not going to be by anybody's word either. That's going to be part of it.
That's the way you feel, man.
Where do you think your cell phone's going to put you?
You got it. You tell me.
We have the records too, Derek.
So.
What it's going to come down to, it's real simple. We can go at this for hours, or we can just cut right to it. And you can be a man about it, and you can be a man of God about it, and you can tell the truth about it. where we're at isn't going to change. It's going to be on you, on how you want this to shake out for you, and how you want to be perceived by the people that are going to ultimately be reading and hearing about this, and maybe someday, if it ever goes to court, be looking at you, and the things that you told us, did they make sense in the way that we presented it to you, and the way that the evidence is going to shake out. A lot of times, Derek, what people have to say to us to change anything for them. It can only, it's sort of one of these fine lines where it can be the accusation, or it can be something that people can understand that, well, the guy's going through a world of hurt. He's really upset about, I'm not going to want to speculate about all that stuff for you, but people can understand certain things. But you know what they can't understand is that somebody that comes in and just really doesn't own up to any bit of it. Zero responsibility behind it.
Well, that's what I feel I have. Zero responsibility. I'm not the reason he's not here. So,
well, here's the part that we got to get over, Derek, is where were you when this guy, at the time that this guy was killed, right nearby the Elks?
The answer hasn't changed, man.
Blocks away.
The answer has not changed.
What hasn't changed for us is our phone records. This pile of stuff sitting here. We're going to let you tell your story. We're going to hear you out, see what you have to say, and then we'll look at the phone records, and we'll go, well, Derek says he wasn't the north side, so we suspected you would probably say that. I mean, to be honest with you. So then we thought, well, let's see where Derek was when his phone was in use at like 10 o'clock. Well, he's up in the area of 42nd Street, 10 o'clock. Right? There's the map. This is the latitude, longitude that we tracked it all at. Right? All right.
Pretty good.
We'll keep it.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
Right. We'll keep it real simple for you. Okay?
Since Griffin isn't being very forthcoming, the detectives are increasing the pressure. They've shown him that they have strong evidence against him, but Griffin is dismissive of the facts.
10:30, still up around the same area. 44th, 42nd. 11 o'clock. This is a map of North Minneapolis. Now we've shifted cities. Or we've asked you, to just tell us the truth on where you were. The truth. 11:30, North Minneapolis. 11:38, Northeast Minneapolis, heading back towards Columbia Heights. 11:43, Columbia Heights. If we were to drive the route from North Minneapolis to this place on Columbia Heights, how long do you suppose it would take?
I don't know. It depends on which way you go.
Well, there's really only, you gotta go across the river, don't you? You really only
Go to 694.
right? But you didn't. So by taking the route, say Plymouth Avenue to 42nd and a half up in Heights.
The car was not on Plymouth Avenue.
What's that?
The car was not on Plymouth Avenue.
No?
Nope.
We'll leave it at this. Your car was near Plymouth Avenue because your car was on the north side. And, we're not just dealing with maps. We're dealing with the actual phone records for phone numbers. Is that your phone?
It's my phone.
Okay. And so we looked at where Derek was on here. This is how we get to the maps. The highlighted one in green is when you're in North Minneapolis. These are your phone records. More phone records. Dr. Will, like 10:30, close to that. Talk to your wife. 11:49. In between those two times, your phone is in North Minneapolis. And we need to account for that, Derek. We're asking you.
Well, I guess if you know about the women, you might as well know about that too.
Griffin decides that his only option is to tell a partial truth. As far as stories go, it isn't particularly convincing.
Will works at a liquor store. He works at Mickey's. I called Will and asked Will, did he have a bottle? Will told me he did. I went and picked it up. When I called Will, when I got to Will's home, Will wasn't there. So I called him. He told me he would have his lady friend that's in the house bring my bottle outside, and that's what she did. The bottle still hasn't been opened. You'll find that on the floor on my side of the bed at the house.
What kind of bottle?
Ricky Martin, VSOP. Still in the box. The seal isn't broken.
And where did this happen at?
Will lives on 16th in Emerson. Right on the corner.
What city is that in?
Minneapolis.
North Minneapolis.
Yep.
I hope you understand why that would be something that
I'm a private person, man. I don't want people knowing I'm cheating on my wife. I don't want people knowing I'm drinking. I don't want people thinking I'm some kind of hypocrite preacher. So I prefer not to expose
It's
myself.
not their place to judge you.
No. But it's not, I like my stuff to me. That's how I've always been. So I don't believe that my business is everybody's business. And I know however it goes down, this conversation don't stay in here. Ruby's gonna know about my wife is gonna know about Ruby. So that's where I'm reluctant.
Well, here's where we're here to get to the bottom of this. It's not our position to go snitch you off to Ruby or snitch you off to your wife or any of that. Here's the thing. If you can account for where you were at the time this guy was killed, and if you're truthful about it, we don't have to go down that road. I think I tried to head off Ruby even before we even got there. I asked you, if there's things that you can account for before we bring her down here. But you didn't want to do that, so that forces our hand.
That I did. If I can protect either one of them from any kind of whatever, pain or heartache, I will do so.
these aren't easy conversations for us to have with them, you know.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
So,
So that would account for people seeing you in North Minneapolis. And for you being in
I don't know nothing about, I don't know anything about that. But I did let you know the bottle's there. Will will tell you. And I didn't see Will. He had his girl bring it out to me. So, the bottle's there, untouched. And I just don't like everybody in my business.
You said that was 16th and Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is 16th and Emerson from the Elks Club?
I would guess the Elks is probably smack in the middle between Fremont and PN. Somewhere right in the center between those two areas. Halfway between Emerson and PN.
More than a block away?
Yeah.
I guess now we gotta try to figure out why these people saw you down there. Did you go by the Elks Club?
Yeah, to tell you the truth, I don't remember which direction I did go.
Griffin's friend was supplying him with alcohol, but not during the time of the murder. No matter what excuse Griffin comes up with, they don't cover the crucial minutes that would put him in the clear.
But if I had seen my wife at the Elks, probably would have went in. But I don't, until she said she thought she saw me over North, I never knew she was over there. Stalking a strange guy. No. That one don't work.
How do you want people to see you there from here on?
I don't know, when you get in situations like this, man, it's court of public opinion after that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say, no way.
No way.
He would have done something like that.
Darren.
I'm gonna say, yeah. So I'm gonna say, if they say they saw the car, he must have did it. It's out of my hand now. So that's why I've been so evasive. Because of my image. My ministry has been cleaned. My record's been clean. I ain't done everything right.
Yeah, when we
I ain't
look
done
for
everything
you,
right, but now all of a sudden, supposedly, because I can't say she did or didn't, but supposedly my wife went and done something, then I just lost it and went and killed a man.
it happens, Darren.
Well,
It does. You know what happens.
I'm not saying it don't. It didn't happen to me. What other people endure, that's their burden. So, it didn't happen to me.
Yeah, sometimes when life takes those turns, we all can say that we didn't see that or didn't think that that would happen to us. not me. That's not going to happen to me, or that didn't happen to me. My guess is when you got married, you never suspected that you would end up separated from your wife. True? That's probably not why you got married, right?
Yeah, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah? Well, you took vows.
Yeah, well, that happened.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not calling you out on anything, but I mean, that's especially holding, to the cloth like you do and having a ministry, and I would suspect those vows meant a lot to you.
still do.
Well, even so much that you chose to not get divorced last year, right?
Right. Still haven't filed for one, so.
And how does that sit with your ministry?
With don't make things right, but it's not public. So, and if my wife did step out of this marriage, definitely would hold her accountable for it.
Well, it'd sort of be hypocritical.
So, if she did, I pushed her to it. You go out of your house for a year and a half, she might do something like that. But why just single out him?
We don't know, Derek.
How was he killed?
He was shot.
That helps.
Up that way.
For the only two weapons I got, you will soon have. So,
Did you shoot any of them within the last day?
it has been, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't understand that. You saying someone else might have shot you?
No. And again, I don't handle them every day. I don't have no reason to. There shouldn't be no spent cartridges in neither one of them. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you if the 9 millimeter is loaded or not. I know the clips are loaded. I don't think one's injected in the gun though. So, I'm confident. Won't no bullet match no bullets from him.
I believe you could say that.
I'm confident about that.
And you know what we're confident about, Derek, is that you were on the north side. And lo and behold, you're on the north side.
Well, the bottle wasn't thrown from Will's house to Columbia Heights, so I've already said that, and I told you why I didn't say it.
Right?
And quite frankly, I don't regret it. I don't want everybody knowing what I do. I've been private. I like to stay that way. You see things from a different perspective because you're always in this situation. I've never been. So I still want the truth?
whatever it is,
Got it.
you know, and that's what people respect.
You have it.
So it makes it more plausible that when people say they saw Derek by the Elks Club, because you were on the north side.
North side covers a lot of area.
It's by the Elks
It's
Club.
by the
We'll
Elks.
cut her down there, brother. It's by the Elks Club.
I can't give it a comfort in, man. You asked me was I north, I told you no.
Well, now we're gonna zero in were you by the Elks Club parked in a car?
No. No. Well, if you I don't know, man. What do you consider 16th and Emerson?
16th and Emerson.
Oh, is that by the Elks Club, or how do you want to look at it? All over north is between Plymouth, is before Broadway.
Go right by the Elks Club, within a block.
I'm gonna say this to you again.
Specifically on the south side of Plymouth.
Maybe like James or something.
No.
Park Lakes out.
No.
How can we show that you were at 16th and Emerson?
Say it again.
How can we show that you were at 16th and Emerson?
You're gonna check with Will. He's gonna tell you what he told her to give me. You're gonna find it on the side of the bed.
Were you on Irving Avenue at all?
No.
Even with the irrefutable evidence placing him at the scene, Griffin still denies that he was there. It is a stance he maintains all the way through his trial.
I don't recall passing over Irving.
How about on Irving?
No.
South of Plymouth.
I don't know what you mean, south, lower. It doesn't matter.
Low.
I don't recall being on Irving. So,
Low.
no. So,
Your car was?
no.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you can go
Doing
a little
what?
further. Driving backwards, actually, for a short period of time.
That's a good one, yeah.
He asked me what I was doing in Irving. Just driving backwards for a little bit.
No.
You know who was driving it?
I know who had my car.
Right.
They,
So we.
so, where you say, how you say, no. So,
How do you want things to end up for you, Derek?
man, they just gonna be what they gonna be.
You just
But you're not gonna make me sit up and tell you I did something I didn't do.
We're not asking
Yeah, I've
you.
been in locations I don't recall being in. No, it's not gonna happen, man.
You don't recall being in location.
Yeah, you're asking me about the Elks. You're asking me about James. You're asking me about Irvin.
Right.
You know, so.
There's specific reasons why we're asking you that. Just
Well,
like,
I'm sure sooner or later you'll get to them, but
well, yeah, just like we left this real bland.
this man is not dead because of me. That's it.
Why? Well, how can you say that, Derek?
Yeah, because I know I didn't kill him.
Do you know who did?
No, I don't. Don't know him.
And where were you then when it happened?
I'm not going through all that again, man.
I don't think
You've already told me. I've already told you. Not going through all that again, man. So
how do you want things to end up for you, Derek?
they'll end up however they end up, man.
No,
So
I don't know if I could sit there and just resign myself passively to this. If it's a force of nature that I can do nothing about.
when you say what you say, you know what is. I'm done. I didn't leave your questions unanswered. The ones I didn't choose to answer, I explained to you why. I'm done. So
Four messages behind, man.
say what?
I said I'm 4 messages behind. Did you grow up on the north side?
Yep.
Whole life? I mean, that's what you gotta take into account some of that too, Jared. You know, people know you. Like you say, some people are gonna go, no. Some people, whatever. You know, they'll have their own judgment, but that's not their place. They won't be held in a public street court. You gotta figure out how you want to deal with this.
I'm dealing that.
Yeah, I believe you are.
I'm dealing, so
I believe you are, but I think you're turned a little more inside than you want to be.
I understand.
I don't think you're the type of person that feels good about not being honest about anything. And I think that's maybe outside of even, we'll just not talk about this man's death. We'll talk about just the way things turn for you. That doesn't feel good, man. Nobody feels good about that. So you gotta deal with those feelings. And how are you gonna stand up and preach the word and deliver your ministry when you got your own thing going on? You know? But then you take it to where when do you start feeling good?
I don't know what you mean.
Did you feel good when you confessed to your wife that you had another woman? Did you feel like you had a little bit of a burden left?
I didn't tell her that.
No, that's not what she said. But that's not an argument we need to have. But the thing is that when you start to tell the truth, Derek, things can maybe inside you start to feel a little better. Maybe.
All I told my wife was, I'm not the devil she made me out to be, and I ain't the angel I make myself out to be. That's what I said.
Yeah.
So I ain't told about no damn
Well, like she said the word, specifically the word sex when she called you out on it. Whatever that is. That doesn't, my point is it's for you. I don't believe you're the person that can feel comfortable in his skin, lying constantly about things.
The detective tries one last appeal to Griffin's faith, but that, along with his regard for human life, is something that Griffin abandoned long ago.
You know, for whatever reason, if whatever you want us to believe or not, about some, you know, holding back, I just don't believe that's you.
Did she say she had something to do with this guy?
Meaning, like, was she involved with them,
Yeah.
or I can't go there.
Hell, I bet she's fine out of her room. Why can't you?
Well, you know, I mean, it's not. I told you I wouldn't lie to you. You know, it's one of those things where I'll keep the.
Man, if I did, at least I would be able to confirm it happened. I don't know that there's ever been anything between them. I don't know who he is.
Right.
Griffin is being partially honest. He didn't know Miller personally. He had only heard through other people that his wife was seeing him.
Now, I'm assuming he's the Mike character.
Right. That makes sense to me.
You know, but I don't know. You know, so I don't know what to tell you, man.
No, that makes sense to me because here's the struggle you're having, and then all of a sudden Sunday or whatever you come across, whatever you saw, however you interpret it. But you got this name Mike attached to it, and you got the Elks Club attached to it, and I didn't think that you had a face attached to it. He was a kid that had a lot going for him, Derek.
Yeah.
Well, I'm old. I'm older than you.
How old was he?
27. Kid.
I don't believe he had nothing to do with my wife. Not at 27 years old. I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit. Not at all.
Want some more water?
Yeah, please.
Let's do something together. There's got to be a point there where you can shed a little bit more light on this for us, and you just think about it. You know, like I said, I don't know that you want to go down with this version of the story being that you want people to actually believe this as the truth. I think what people will ultimately respect at the end of all this is the truth. They maybe not going to like it the best, but they'll at least be able to say, well, he stood up in front of us for all these years, but when it came time for him to have his own spot of trouble, he owned up to it and he had the truth. I think you might find some respect in that. I don't know. It's just my guess. I want you to understand it's not our goal to wrap you up in something that you're not involved in, okay? But you're involved in it, so it's gonna be however you want this to look from here on out for you. You know, like I said,
Pretty much through, man. You said what you had to say.
Exactly.
You said that you come to your conclusion.
Well, it's not my conclusion doesn't really mean a whole lot, Derek.
That's what you say, but you know, it is
All
what
I
it
do
is,
is
man.
talk to people and I write a report.
Well,
That's it.
you told me what you believe, and you don't really want to hear nothing other than
I
that.
want to hear everything that you got to say.
Well, you've heard it.
Well,
You've heard it. So
I'm assuming you have more to say than just that. I mean, you got to remember, we spent the first part, you know, just kind of going spinning around and whether or not you were on the north side. You know, that doesn't shake out so well for you.
it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
I told you. I told you what. You want to know where I live, but didn't want to tell you. I told you what.
I got all that.
So, you know. You said I'm involved. I said I'm not. That's where we
Well,
start.
you're on the north side.
You know.
You're by the Elks Club. That's your involvement for me right now.
Well,
Right?
it's nothing I did had anything to do with this man not being here. So we can.
How do we say that? I mean, what can you give us to say that is the truth?
I've answered whatever you've asked.
Well, but you're saying that you're not involved, and how do we prove it? We would be more than happy to prove your non-involvement, Derek.
Well, I mean, you got
to give us something to work with.
I gave you what I got. This is a total stranger to me.
Yeah.
So I gave you what I got.
And where did you come up with that you're hearing that he had something to do with your wife or was involved with your
I
wife?
already told you that, man. No,
Is this Reverend McAfee?
yes, I told you that already. And the phone will reflect. So,
Yeah, we know he called you.
I would think if I'd done something like that, I'd be calling somebody, trying to get some help and whatever, yada yada.
Everybody has their own way of dealing with it.
Well, I'm not.
Believe it or not, Derek, we actually get people that come in here and say, you know what, I messed up. I am messed up, and I didn't mean for this to happen, or I did this, or they lay out what actually happened, the truth. You know, they don't take us around this long roundabout way for whatever ulterior reasons or motives that they have to not tell us the truth.
Well, I assume you don't convict. Or have run into a lot of past pastors and present preachers for murder either. So,
No. But that's not my job. I'm not the convictor, Derek. That's what you're missing here. I'm not going to be sitting on the panel.
thing is this, officer, from under arrest, arrest me. But the fact remains the same. He's not dead because of me.
I'm going to go wrap up a couple things. You hungry? You want a snack or anything? Or
Need is my meds.
where are they at?
You know,
What are you taking for?
diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure.
All right.
my mind.
Alright. Well, let's sort through a couple of things here.
Derek Griffin was found guilty of murder and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole.